Hello class 7 students, how are you? I hope you all are fit and fine. So today we're gonna study a fresh unit, that is unit 6, the living world. And in this new chapter, that is chapter 14, soil, boon of nature. So here are some inside the chapter points. So the first one is soil teeming with life. Next, formation of soil. Next one, soil profile, which contain topsoil, subsoil, parent soil. Next one, types of soil. Next, sandy, clay, loamy. Next one, properties of soil. Next, soil and crops. Next one, soil erosion. So we're gonna study this chapter step by step. So the first thing is, there are a number of natural resources which are necessary for our survival. Soil is one of the most important natural resource. Do you think that life would have been possible without soil? The answer is no. Soil is necessary for the growth of a diverse variety of plants, trees, and flowers. Soil helps the plants by holding the roots firmly and providing water and nutrients so that they can prepare their food. Soil is essential for agriculture. It is the home for many organisms. Our buildings, roads, and railways too are supported by the soil. All living organisms depend directly or indirectly on soil. We also depend on soil. Soil is thus an inseparable part of our life. Without soil, there would be no food for us or other animals. So, soil is the important part for our life, as if the soil is not there, then plant can't be able to grow, and also we can't be able to live. Okay, we can't be able to build our houses, roads, and all. Okay. Now we're going to talk about soil teeming with life. Soil is made up of many things. Different organisms live in soil. Soil varies from place to place in color, texture, as well as in composition. Let us find out different things present in soil with the help of this activity. You have observed that different things are found in soil from different places. Polythene and plastic articles will be found in soil collected from roadside soil. So basically from the roadside soil you can find the polythene and plastic articles. Okay, here you can see how the boy is planting that plant, okay, by digging the soil and all. Okay, now there is test and prove activity first. So in this one you can see the box, the source of soil is given, the plants, animals, and any other thing are also given. So first of all is the garden. So what type of thing you find in the garden area? You can find weeds. Weeds are that one which grow by their own self. Okay, we can say they are the wild plants. Okay, and there is also grass. There is also animals. Okay, the earthworm which live in that soil. Okay, or we can say red worm. And any other thing is the plastic. Okay. Next, we're going to talk about formation of soil. The word soil is derived from Latin word that is solum, meaning earthly material. Soil is the uppermost layer of the earth's surface. The formation of soil is a very slow process. It takes thousands of years to form a layer of soil. You have probably learned that soil is formed by the breaking down of rocks caused by the action of wind, water, and climate. This process is called withering. This process is known as withering of soil, withering of rocks to form soil. Okay. The nature of the soil depends upon the following factors. So here are some following factors. First is the rocks from which it has been formed, from which the soil has been formed. Next, the type of vegetation that grows on it. okay, that grows on that soil. And next is the climate. Okay, so in different region you can find different varieties of soil. Here you can see in this image the weathering of rock and how the soil is formed. Okay, next we're going to talk about soil profile. Soil is made up of distinct layers. So there is an activity, test and prove activity second. This you have to perform by your own. So in this you can see there are layers of soil. In the diagram also you can see the layer of soil. The top soil you can see in which the humus is there. Okay, then after that there is water in this layer of soil, and then there is clay, then there is sand, and then there is gravel, the bedrock area. Okay, a vertical section of soil showing its different layers or horizons is called soil profile. Each layer differs in feel, that is texture, color, depth, and chemical composition. Soil is generally arranged in the three main layers. It is generally arranged in three main layers. These layers are called the horizons. The three main layers of soil are So the three main layers of soil are, first one, topsoil or A horizon. It is also known as A horizon. Second one, subsoil or B horizon. And the third one, parent rock or C horizon, or it is also known as bedrock. Okay. Under the C horizon lies the bedrock. Under the C horizon lies the bedrock, which consists of solid rock. We generally see only the topsoil and not the layers beneath it. They can be seen while digging of a well or layering of foundation of a building. You can also see the different layers if you look at the sides of a ditch being dug. Okay, so basically you can't able to see the different layers of the soil, okay, by looking at the topsoil only. So basically you have to dug when you are digging a well. During that time you can see the different layers of soil, and there are only like main three layers of soil. In the first one is the topsoil, which is also known as A horizon. Then there is, you can see in the figure also, there is subsoil, which is also known as B horizon, and then parent rock, which is also known as C horizon, and beneath that C horizon there is bedrock. Okay, so first one is topsoil or A horizon. It is the uppermost layer of the soil. It consists of fine particles and is usually dark in color. It is rich in humus and minerals. This layer is very fertile and provides nutrients to the growing plants because of the high humus content. It is soft and porous and can hold water. This layer provides shelter for many living organisms like earthworm, fungi, bacteria, rodents, moles, and beetles. The roots of small plants are completely embedded in the topsoil. Okay, so in this topsoil you can see that it is rich in humus and mineral, and also it is very much fertile as compared to the subsoil, and it also provides the nutrients to the growing plants. Okay, and this layer also provides shelter to many little organisms, okay, like earthworm is there, redworms are there, fungi, bacteria are there. Okay, and root of small plants are completely embedded in this topsoil. Next one is subsoil or B horizon. The layer just under the topsoil is called the B horizon or subsoil. It is lighter in color than the topsoil. It is slightly harder and more compact. It has a higher mineral content than the topsoil. It has very little humus but is rich in soluble minerals and iron oxides. Next one is C horizon. This is the layer which is below the subsoil or B horizon. It is made up of small lumps of rocks with cracks and crevices. Rainwater collects in this region. It is very difficult to dig beyond this layer. Roots of plants do not penetrate into this layer. Below this layer is the bedrock, which is solid rock. Rainwater collects over the bedrock to form the water table. Okay, rainwater collect over the bedrock to form the water table. Here you can see the bedrock given, which is below the sea horizon. Now we're going to talk about types of soil. Soil is a mixture of sand, salt, clay and humus. The topsoil consists of three types of rock particles which differ in size, appearance and feel. These include clay particles, silt particles and sand particles. The relative amount of the particles depend upon the rock from which the particles are formed, that is the parent rock. So from which the soil is formed, that is the parent rock. Okay. Here you can see how the silt particles are given over in this jar, inside that jar. Okay. The texture of the soil depends on the basis of the proportion of the particles of different sizes. Based on the proportions of soil particles, soil is classified into sandy soil, clayey soil and loamy soil. So based on that proportion of the particles which are included in the soil of different sizes, they are classified into three types, that is the sandy soil, clayey soil and loamy soil. Okay. Here the images are already shown: sandy soil, clayey soil and loamy soil. So the first one is sandy soil. This soil contains a large amount of sand particles and very small amount of silt and clay particles. This soil is highly porous because the particle size is large. There is lot of space between the particles which is filled with air. This type of soil is thus a well aerated soil. The water retention of this type of soil is poor as it drains off quickly through the spores, as it drains out quickly through the spaces. Thus the sandy soil is dry, well aerated and light. It is not suitable for growth of plants. So as you all know that this sandy soil, it contains a large amount of sand particles and very small amount of silt and clay particles is present in this sandy soil. And this sandy soil is very porous and the particles are bigger in size, larger in size, and there is lot of space. Okay, and that space is filled with the air. So that's why it is also known as the aerated soil. Okay, and the water retention in this type of soil is very less. Okay, as it drains off quickly, okay, through the spaces which are there in that soil, and so that's why it is not suitable for the growth of plants. Next one is clayey soil. This soil consists of mainly clay particles and a small amount of humus and silt. Clay particles are fine and there is less gap between the particles. This soil is heavy and dense. It has high water retention and becomes sticky when wet. There is, however, very little air in the clay soil. So basically, this clay soil is having the clay particles in it, and a small amount of humus is there. Like humus is present there, but small amount of humus is there and silt is there, and clay particles are fine, and there is very less gap between those particles. Okay, and it is not filled with air, so it is we can say that it is not aerated soil, and this soil is very much heavy and dense. Okay, and it has very high water retention capacity and also becomes very sticky and wet. So there is, however, very little air in the clay soil. So the next one is loamy soil. This is the perfect soil for growing plants. It is a mixture of sand, clay, and silt. Silt is a deposit in riverbeds. The size of silt particles in between those of sand and clay. Loamy soil has the right water holding capacity and has enough space for air. It also contains humus. So basically, this loamy soil is good for the growth of plants, and this loamy soil is a mixture of sand, clay, and silt. Okay, and silt is what? Silt is, it is a deposit in the riverbed area, and the size of those silt particles in between those of sand and clay. Okay, and loamy soil has the right water retention capacity, and also it has enough space for air. Okay, and this loamy soil also contains humus. Next is test and prove activity third. So this activity you have to perform by your own. Next is clay soil can be turned into different shapes. Clay soil used to Clay soil can be turned into different shapes. Clay soil used for making toys, pots, statues, etc. So clay soil is generally wet. Okay, so you can use that clay soil for making pots, for making toys, and for making statues. Okay, next one is testing zone first. So here you have to answer the following questions. So this one is your homework. Okay, next is properties of soil. The three main properties of soil are: first one, percolation rate of water; second, moisture; and the third one is absorption of water. So the first thing is percolation rate of water. The rate at which water passes down the soil is called the percolation rate. The rate at which water passes down the soil is known as the percolation rate, and the rate of percolation for different soil is different. Here is an activity test and prove activity fourth, and this also you have to perform by your own, which also like by doing it you can see the percolation rate of water and all. Okay, and next one is moisture in the soil. Soil contain water in the form of moisture. Here is next test and prove activity fifth. This one also you have to perform by your own. Okay, compare the soil which has been heated with the soil which has not been heated. We can have a rough idea of the moisture content of the soil by the we can have a rough idea of the moisture content of the soil by the look and feel of it. So it is saying that if you are comparing in the above activity which you have performed, in this you are comparing the soil which you have burned in that test tube to the soil which is not burned. Okay, so then we can have a rough idea by that. By looking over there we can have a rough idea of the moisture content of the soil by the look and feel of it. Like the soil which is burned in the test tube one, it contains less moisture as compared to the soil which is not at all burned. Okay, next is absorption of water by soil. All plants need water to grow. The amount of water a particular soil can absorb is called its water absorption capacity. The higher the water absorption by the soil, greater will be its availability to the plants. So basically it is saying that all plants need water, and also like different soil has the different capacity of water absorbing. So the amount of water particular soil that absorbs is known as the water absorbing capacity. So if in the soil the higher is the water absorption, then the greater will be the availability to the plants. Okay, next is test and prove activity sixth. So this activity also you have to perform by your own. In from the above activity you will see from the above activity that the water absorption capacity of the sandy soil is the least, and that of the clay soil is the maximum. Can you tell the relation between the percolation rate and absorption of water by different kind of soil? So as you perform the above activity, you can see that the water absorption capacity of different type of soil is different. In the sandy soil, the water absorption capacity is less, while in the clay soil, the water absorption capacity is high. Okay. And now the question arises that can you tell the relation between the percolation rate and absorption of water capacity, absorption of water by different types of soil. Next is soil and crops. The properties of soil vary from place to place. Different types of soil are found in India. In some places, you will find sandy soil, in other places, clay soil, while in some other, loamy soil. That is why different crops are found in different areas, different places. So the first thing is loamy and clay soil both are suitable for growing wheat and gram. Both the soil can retain water. Next, paddy is grown in clay soil as it has good water retaining capacity. Next, lentils and pulses require water with good drainage, hence loamy soil is best. So in these point, you just saw that loamy and clay soil, they both are suitable for growing wheat and gram because both the soil can retain water. Okay. Next is the paddy one, which is grown in clay soil and as it has good water retention capacity. And next the lentils and pulses, they are grown in loamy soil. Okay. Next is cotton require sandy loamy which drain water easily and can hold plenty of air. Sugarcane can also be grown in all types of soil. Find out the states where water and rice primarily sorry. Find out the states where wheat and rice primarily come from. Okay, so this question you have to answer this question by your own. Okay. Here you can see the paddy crops given in this picture and also the pulses crop which is grown in that loamy soil one. Next we're going to talk about soil erosion. The process of removal of the top layer of soil by wind or by flowing water is called soil erosion. It is a natural process. The erosion of soil is severe in places where there is no vegetation, like in deserts. Plants' roots firmly bind the soil. In the absence of plants, soil becomes loose and can be easily blown away by wind or carried away by flowing water. Human activities are causing heavy loss of soil. The main causes of soil erosion are, so the first thing is deforestation, which is the human activity. Next, overgrazing in forest. Next one, flood and heavy rain. And next, forest fire. Next, poor farming methods, which leaving the land uncultivated after plowing and tilling. So we must prevent cutting of trees and deforestation, and at the same time we must plant more trees and grass. Okay, we must do the process of that afforestation. Okay. Next is testing zone second. So this true and false you have to do by your own in this testing zone. Next one is definitional terminology. First point is humus, rotting dead matter present in the soil. Next, weathering, breaking down of rocks by the action of wind, water and climate. Next one, soil profile, a vertical section through different layers of the soil. Next, horizon, various layers of the soil. Next one, topsoil, uppermost layer of the soil. Next one, bedrock, lowermost layer of the soil. Next, soil erosion, Removal of top layer of the soil by wind and water. As we have studied the chapter, now let's recall. So the first point is soil is the uppermost layer on the surface of the earth on which plant grows. Soil is a natural resource for life on earth. The continuous weathering of rocks form soil. It is a slow and gradual process. The distinct horizontal layers of soil are called horizons. Next, we must plant trees to control the soil erosion. Next, clay soil used to make pots, statues and toys. As we have studied the chapter, now let's do some exercises. So the first one is MCQ. Tick the correct option. So the first question is, the particle size of this soil is the smallest. It is clay. So tick that one. Next, dash is the darkest in color. Is it topsoil? Is it subsoil? Is it parent rock or is it bedrock? So topsoil, tick that one. Next, the water holding capacity is highest in the dash. Is it sandy soil, clay soil, loamy soil or all are same? So it is clay soil. Next one, the percolation rate is highest in the dash. Is it sandy soil? Is it clay soil? Is it loamy soil or none? Percolation rate means the water holding capacity. Okay. So the next question is, the percolation rate is highest in the dash. It is sandy soil. Take that one. Next, plant grow best in the dash. Plants grow best in the loamy soil. Take that one. So the matching and the fill in the blanks you have to do by your home. The matching and the fill in the blanks you have to do by your own. This is your homework. And also read this chapter thoroughly and draw the diagram of layers of soil and label it. Till then, students, take care. Bye bye.